Just to let you know, Dave Caldwell, that these allegations are not going to go away. This is just the beginning. So I think you need to come out and do an interview. I mean, any other time we can't get you off IFL, Behind the Gloves, Seconds Out, Boxing Social, Fight Eye. We can't get you off YouTube. So you need to come out and answer these allegations. You're more than welcome to come on Porky's Corner. You can do it by Zoom. You don't have to do it in your gym. You can do it by Zoom. And I'll ask you these questions from these lads. Alright? And then once you've answered them, then I'm going to play a card that I've got up my sleeve and put this to bed. Alright? So come out, wherever you are.
I'm Peter Fury, and don't forget to subscribe to Porky's Corner, because I've been a helmet of the month and you need to listen to me. Yeah? So follow him, yeah? And get the fella some followers up, for Christ's sake. He wears his heart on his sleeve, the good man Russ. So follow Porky's Corner, he says it as it is, and you know, I appreciate the helmet of the month, Russ. No problem.
No problem, thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate.
Big question I have to ask you, and I know you've been asked this already, but can you reveal to us who was your source that told you, erroneously, as it turned out, that Oscar Rivas had failed a drug test?
Do you know what? I'm not going to reveal it. What I'm going to say is the person who told me, and it was two people. One was in the border control, and the other one is a very, very famous lawyer in sport. I'm not going to. The reason why, because if you watch the interviews that I put out, I remember Dylan White's my guy. So I'm not saying everyone's pointing fingers, but I heard, and it was from two good sources. I'm not going to say it because they know, and afterwards they kind of pussied out on me. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Like, oh, well, why did you mention it? What are you telling me for then? You know, Dylan, it's like someone told me something about you, it was bad, and you had someone who's conflicting you. I'm going to be backing you because I know you. This is how I roll. And bottom line is this. They know. The two of them, they know. And they know that, and that's what I said, like, I heard allegedly. You know what? Allegedly, I heard from a good source. But it's allegedly, so I don't want no one trying to sue me. Allegedly. And that's what it was. But then it got blown up, like, man. And then sometimes you forget that, Spence, certain things you can't say because you're actually famous. You don't want to think you are, but you can't say. And certain people want to jump on it, and it was like, oh, Sky Pundit said this and da. And then it was just Barneys all around the place. But I'm saying, look, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm still winning.
Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russie from Porky's Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. As promised, I did say that I was going to go through this mammoth contract sent to me by Spencer Fearon and his team. I call them Free Smart, his team, because they think they're smart. And this contract obviously proves that they're not very smart at all. But I'm going to go through it today with somebody, my guest, who's been at the top end of the sport. He's managed Nigel Benn. He's had dealings with American promoters, Don King, Aram, DeBella, Eddie Earn, Frank Warren. He were a big player in game in the 90s. Today I'm joined by Peter De Freitas. How you doing, Peter?
Oh, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I sent you the contract because I know that you're very well respected in game. You don't do a lot of interviews. You're not one of them to shout your mouth off. You're genuine, you're honest, and I just want your honest opinion of the contract from beginning to end. Obviously, we don't need to go through every point, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the tech guys to put every single page on here and let this be a warning to all you young fighters to be very careful in the sport of boxing. So what do you think to the contract, Pete?
Well, basically, I was quite shocked when I read it. I thought I'd go a little bit deeper and find out who Stamina Promotions was. That was my first objective regarding the contract, because I like to know who I'm dealing with, what kind of people I'm dealing with. And I did. And it happens to be a contract, obviously, between you and Spencer Fearon. And apparently his best mate is Tunde Babatunde Olawasani Ajayi.
We don't get weak, we get deep.
And I've done a little bit of digging, and he happens to own a company, Stamina Promotions in Enfield.
Dream it.
Believe it, become it.
Which is not for me. So I looked into it, and this company's a year old. They've not paid no taxes of yet. It's due on the 5th of the 7th, 22, to be fair. But no paperwork's gone in at the end of October, like it should have done. They own two companies there, television programs, distribution activities, and media representative services. So I looked into it and I thought, Tunde's his mate, and now we're getting a contract from basically Tunde, you know, who we call Tunde in the sport, you know. He's a nice fella, but this is a little bit wild. It basically ties you in for 60 days prior to the contest. You can't move or basically fart. You can't do nothing. So I'm very against this, you know, a contract 100%.
Right. So what exactly money-wise are they offering me?
Well, it looks here like they're offering you, is it 100,000, isn't it?
No, 20,000 it says.
20,000. Sorry, but if you fail to turn up or you fail to do what they tell you, it's 100,000 in court they're going to sue you for. So they're offering you 20,000. Well, my first answer to that is, after reading this, I would ask for an irrevocable letter of credit put in your bank, so that 30 days prior to the contest, they submit a letter of credit, which they must have in their account, to your account or a suspense account. And then 30 days before, and then after the fight takes place, they can release the money automatically, the bank. So no one can hold, because this is a limited company. So on the Monday morning after the fight, basically, so you fight on a Saturday night, so Monday morning they could shut the company down and you can get nothing.
It says
So,
I'm paid 14 days after the fight, doesn't it?
yeah, 14 days after the fight, after you've submitted an invoice that's correct to them.
I mean, some of these things in this, Pete, are shocking. You know, I'm not allowed to spar 14 days before the fight. Is that correct?
Well, they're saying, yeah, 30 days before the fight, you've got to ease off. And then 14 days before the fight, you can't spar.
What does ease off mean?
Sorry?
What does,
ease off. You can't spar, or you can just do pad work. Ease off. Basically, pad work only. They're trying to save you, obviously, from injury.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't say anything about a venue, does it?
It doesn't say nothing about the venue. And this contract is only viable for 6 months. But another problem I've got here is the fight's made at 90.72 kilograms, which is, say, 14.4, yeah? But it can go up to, in this, is a 5 kilogram allowance, which then puts the fight up to 95.7 kilo, which means that you could come in at 90 kilo, which you never are, and he can walk in at 15 stone.
I'm 73 kilo this morning. That's what I weigh.
95.7, because there's a 5 kilo allowance.
Turn up, show up, blow up.
So basically, Spencer Fearon's walking around now as a heavyweight, then, isn't he, in weight?
Yeah.
That's craziness. And what happened to Spencer? He said they were going to turn up at mixed gym with his gloves and didn't want no money, turn up on his own. And now we've got contracts offering me 20 grand. They probably haven't got 20 pence. And 100 grand fines if I don't do or act or say or do what they say. And it's going to be in arenas and it's going to be at this weight, and it's not worth paper it's written on this, is it really? It's not a board contract, this, is it?
No, it's not. No. I mean, also, he cannot really put a contract out like this, being licensed by the British Boxing Board of Control. He's a licensed trainer and a licensed manager. He's not a licensed promoter, I don't think. But he can't put out contracts like this when he's supposed to be fighting under British Boxing Board of Control rules. So
basically, Tunde Ajayi is trying to be a double agent.
Lions in the camp.
Because I'm going to get Not a white collar license. You don't need one. How am I going to get a board license age 51? I'll be 52 by the time me and him get at it.
I think 33 is the limit, isn't it? 35, 33 to 35.
Yeah. So how am I going to get a board license? So it's not going to be a board show. It's going to be an unlicensed. And what's Tunde doing? Sending contracts out like this, thinking he's smart. And he's a board license holder. Naughty, 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 Tunde.
He thinks we're not going to check out who owns the company.
Yeah, do these think that they've got 20 grand? Oh my God. I mean, could you imagine some fighters, right, signing contracts and working with this shower? They must be tied in knots, Peter.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I could have been reading some of the things in there, you know, basically it's unheard of. But this is a nil and void. The company's only been going 12 months. They're not even established. What have they put on? What event have they actually put on besides this that they want to put on?
It says here, Pete, right, listen to this.
Yes.
3.1.
Right. Got you.
Shall in connection with the event and which shall all form part of the appearance. 3.11. Attend and participate in one press conference. Who's going to pay for the press conference then? What with brass tacks?
They're promoting it. They've got to.
Yeah, 3.12, attend and participate in one face-off with your opponent. That'd be interesting, won't it? Me and Spencer in a face-off.
What's to stop them at the end of the fight to say that you have got to pay after you've fought, that you have got, when you put your invoice in for the fight money, that they don't deduct you for these press conferences? 50%.
It doesn't say in here, though, who pays for press conferences, does it?
That is what I'm saying. So therefore, you could be liable as 50%.
Do you know what? My solicitor said, don't sign it. It's a load of rubbish. And the rank amateurs who've sent you it.
That's why we have the British Boxing Board of Control, really, to stop this kind of thing. You understand?
Yeah. It says here. Oh, sorry.
Boxing Board of Control. This is why they're there.
3.19, refrain from inviting, escorting, or encouraging any non-authorised person from entering the boxing ring of the event or the dressing room area without written approval of the companies. Is that the company Stamina Promotions then, yeah?
Yeah, and what you've got to do is you've got to notify them who is going to be in your corner, who is going to be in your dressing room before the fight, who's going to be backstage, basically. So they're limiting you. So just say, for instance, you wanted Mickey Theo in your dressing room, they could say no.
Yeah. 3.21. Conduct themselves in a professional manner and be appropriately dressed when in public and or communicating with the media so as not to damage their reputation and or public image, but within the usual boundaries of trash talk. What on earth are they on?
Well, what they're saying to you is this 100,000 that they've used as a limit at the end that you could be fined for up to. This is what they're saying. If you break any of these conditions in this contract, you are liable to be taken to court for up to £100,000.
All right, Spencer. So we're talking about Rivas. So you saw IFL interview, yeah, and you said that Rivas might have tested positive. Can you enlighten us on that?
What? Guys, say that again because I'm just in my car. So
all right, Rivas. Yeah, in your recent interview, IFL, you said that Rivas tested positive. Can you?
No, I never said he tested positive.
Okay.
No, why don't you listen to what I said? I said allegedly there was a rumor going around that he tested positive for a banned substance.
Okay, the rumor, like, would you expand on that or that anything?
No, well, it was a very high official within boxing that told me this, which I can't name because I get a gross. But I can't name. But that's what I was told. So therefore, I told it. I'm just letting everyone else know that. So I said allegedly, this is what I've heard. I've heard that he's also failed a test.
See, if that was
but then why is it Tom Hauser calls out one, if it's true, because it could be a bag of shit, right? But why is it that he calls out one in Dylan White to say, oh, well, Dylan White failed the test, but doesn't mention the other test. If it comes out, and we'll see, because it comes from a very, look at this idiot, it's come from a very viable source. So, you know what I mean? We'll see, innit? That's what I'm on. We'll see.
So if that's the case, then what Rivers' team, yeah, they're looking for. I heard apparently in the article they said they're looking for to overturn the decision.
Well, they can't overturn the decision. That fight would have to be a no contest, because regardless, he lost the fight. So how can you overturn the decision?
Oh my, it's like a gagging order then, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, it is a gagging order, yeah.
3.22. Not train or spar heavily for 14 days before the event, or compete in boxing, wrestling, or any other fighting competition or exhibition within 30 days. So it says here not to train. So am I supposed to train up out of shape?
Yeah, just keep the weight on.
Not within the period of 60 days prior to the event, engage in any dangerous pursuit or voluntary take any risks.
This is what. So really, you can't spar 60 days before the contest, because you're fighting from being able to perform. If you have an accident or cut eye, according to them, you broke the agreement.
Keep the company advised of his residential address, telephone number, mobile number, and email address, and the addresses and telephone numbers of the fighters' designated emergency contact, and reply promptly to communications from the company, and upon request by the company, provide a duly completed form, FEU8, or any replacement or equivalent form, the signature on behalf of the company. Why do they want to know where I live and all that nonsense? Is that for drug tests?
Well, they could do, yeah, but I don't know what an FEU is. 8 is.
That, you know what they've done here? This is because it's a standard contract and they've added their bits in and they forgot to take that out. That's all that is. Fighters' warranties. The fighters' warrants represent and undertake to the company that the fighter is free to enter into a reform. Enter into and perform the agreement, and has not entered and will not enter into any professional or other commitment which would or might conflict with the full and due rendering of their services in connection with the appearance. What on earth are they on? So basically, all this is they've altered a few things in it, not all of them. They're trying to make a professional contract into an unlicensed contract, aren't they? Basically.
Also, if you read it again, it's saying one part of it's boxing, but in between they've slipped in their television programs distribution activities, which they own, and the media representative services that they own. So they're basically telling you your rights, what you can do media and socially and television wise, you know.
Then it goes on about fees and expenses. There's things about sponsorship, and they want 30% of any monies. Or we'll come to that in a bit. But this one here, 6.1 fees and expenses. The company shall pay the fighter an appearance fee, the fee of £20,000 within 14 days after the period. The fee payable to the fighter is exclusive of value and added tax, which shall be payable at the appropriate rate, if applicable, and represent the full and complete consideration due to the fighter for all services rendered and all uses and reuse of the product throughout the world in all form. Can you imagine you're some young kid getting involved with this lot? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
But 6.5, the company shall pay the fighter the fee within 7 days of the company's receipt of a valid invoice.
So now it's come from 14 days to 7. Yeah.
So that's 21 days then, isn't it? All payments due to the fighter under the agreement shall be made in cleared funds to the bank account notified to the company. Where the fighter requests payment is made in a currency other than the GBP, that's sterling, isn't it? Pound sterling. The rate to be used for converting that other currency in the GBP shall be the rate quoted by its bankers on the day of which payment is made. Oh my God, that means strength at pound on day, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Commercial agreements. You know, this is a funny one. This Let's have a look. Where's that bit there I were looking at earlier?
What number? You have to tell me the numbers.
Seven commercial
Right.
agreements.
Yeah, commercial agreements.
Yeah.
The company has the right to exclude.
Adidas and Puma and Nike going to come on board and sponsor me.
5, yeah.
Damages and termination. Number 8. That's an interesting one.
Termination, yeah.
I believe what I'm seeing here. This is unbelievable. It's a slave contract, isn't it?
Yep.
Why do we need all this when he was just going to turn up at Mickey's gym in Essex with his gloves on his own, and we were just going to get at it? Why do we need all this contract money thrown about and all that? Is it about money, or are we just going to settle the beef like Decker and Eggy and Danny Christie? They just got at it, settled their beef for no money.
Do you know what this contract's like? This is a contract that was before, when a fighter years ago, like Terry Lawless days, and when Frank Bruno first started, and the likes of Charlie Magri and all that, they had to sort out with the promoter the deals for promotional side, the boxing side of it, the contest side, then the promotional side, and then it was all like this mumble jumbo. It took like weeks to sort out. Yeah. Then Frank Warren, I believe, was the one that came in, and then he made a like one contract. In other words, he owned all the rights to everything, and this is what you got. So basically, what I would be saying is, fuck all this. Just give me 25, 30 grand or 40 grand, whatever's made outside of the fight, you keep. I'm not into all this. You understand? How boxing is now. They haven't got no rights to TV and all that fighters. There's just a one contract for a fight with the promoter. They have all they deal with all this. They're people. This is an old way of doing a fight.
You know what? Allegedly, I heard from a good source, but it's allegedly, so I don't want no one trying to sue me. But allegedly, Oscar Rivas has failed a test. Who allegedly, I haven't seen the proof that he's failed the A sample first. So if that is the case, then the book should be thrown at anybody if you're guilty.
Very old.
Well, so basically, it's not worth paper it's written on that contract, is it?
Well, not for me, it's not. In all the years I was at the top, and I've been Cuba, Mexico, USA. I've worked all over, and I've never had a contract like this in my life. Even though I can understand it, it's still ridiculous because it's just an old way of doing a fight. Very old way.
I've got a message for you, Spencer, for you. Stick to what you said, and you remember what you said. You'll turn up. KO Gym, Queen's Road, Buckhurst Hill, Essex. When I'm ready, when I've got my stomach situation sorted, and we'll just get at it. Bring your gloves, and you wanted to bring your headgear. You even said you were going to tie your hand up behind your neck. You don't need to do that. You can weigh what you want. I mean, it's looking by that like you're over 15 stone. I'll just turn up middleweight. You can turn up heavyweight, and we'll get at it. And that'll be it. They'll not get out of hand. You'll be safe there. We're not bullies. You said you're going to come on your own, didn't you? Bring your mate Tunde, because there's a couple of people in there who would like to say hello to him and get a selfie with him, because he's famous, isn't he, Tunde? And he's a famous world-class trainer, world-class manager, putting Kovalev in Yard in with Kovalev, and Yard had not won a belt, not won a British title or an English. That's what you people know about boxing. Sending contracts like that, you should be embarrassed. For starters, half of that, I'm not even sure if it's legal, half of that. But I'm going to get a second opinion off my lawyer when I see her tomorrow. We'll get a second opinion, but this contract's going up at the end of this video, page for page. All right. Forget your contract. We'll meet next summer, all being well, and we're going to fight, Spencer, for free. All right. Your word. Well, you mind all this 20 grand? You haven't got 20 pence. Jesus, and £100,000 fines, like I'm going to hand you 100 grand of it. Yeah, get in queue for that, mate. Good luck with that. But I think that's about it, really. Peter, you've been a gentleman. You always speak from the heart. And you always speak honestly. This is why I get on with you.
Yeah.
I like what you've achieved in the sport. It's nice to speak to someone that's actually achieved things in the sport and sat down at the big dinner table with all the big dogs. So I respect you immensely, and thank you very much for coming on my channel, because there's a lot of people in boxing who I could show this to, and they go, "Oh, okay, don't sign that." I said, "Well, you're going to come on my channel?" And they go,
Oops. There you go, Mr. Cordwell. Stop rubbing things out.
I've still got the game, Russ, and all that, and their arseholes would fall out, but this contract's a joke, and I'm not signing none of it. So I've checked with my lawyer. She can put it on. It's not even addressed to my name, so I'm going to put it on here, and I haven't signed it. You just put my name, just put Porky. I can't even put my proper name. So that's it, basically. So good luck with it, but you don't need a contract to fight me, Spencer. We don't want to put obstacles in the way, like weight and money and venues and all that. I mean, you lot ain't got 2 pence to hire a venue. So stop talking poppycock and get you sending training for next summer. I think that's about it, really, Pete. I said it all. I ain't got no problem with them, but yeah, I saw them on the video clip, high-fiving each other about sending me this. What planet are these people on? They must have thought I'd be there with begging ball for 20 grand like that, signing it and all that. And then I can't mention them on social media unless they say so and blah, blah, blah. And I can only do so many posts or so. What a planet are they on? Basically, I've tried to say I can't mention these on my channel. Well, listen, I'm signing no, and I'll continue to rinse me if you keep rinsing me. That's about it, basically, isn't it, really? No, try and be smart. Try to be smart. Free smart, I call them. Old Starsky and Hutch. What you got planned for the rest of the day, Pete?
I'm just chilling at home, you know, just having a nice rest today. Having a little bit of a tidy up and a little bit of a clean, and that's it. And do a bit of studying like I like to do every day.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Pete.
You're welcome.
Keep in touch, and you're a gentleman, and good luck with your health.
Thank you so much.
You take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
Well, that were the legendary boxing guru, Peter De Freitas, who well, like I've just said there, were a big player from probably 1988 for probably, I don't know, a decade. He was at the top. And he did really well for himself, and he's a lovely, lovely, lovely bloke, and he's been on my channel now several times, and it's refreshing to have him on there. But Tunde Ajaya, you must have thought that we weren't going to check up who this company is here, and basically it's Mickey Mouse, isn't it? It's strictly 4th division, but hey, but like I said earlier on in visit, look, all we need to do is do what Decker did, Decker Heggie, Danny Christie. Just do it in a ring. And that's it. That's all we need to do, Spencer, don't we, to get this sorted? And they did it in a ring, and they had a couple of lads make sure they were at fair play. I forgot the names. There is one called Paul, is it? And Dougie. They made sure that they got fair play, and everything went off all right, didn't it? But this is a joke. But then again, pair of you jokers, aren't you? Pair of you jokers, clowns. All right. So peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep sporting boxing. Don't have nightmares. All right. Now, for all you Max fans, here's the man himself training for his next fight. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.